This Levi Ruth, the Dragon Slayer, suited for you. Big respect.
This guy's Suited for You podcast. Today we're here with...
Rich Evans.
Yeah, man. Let's get into it.
It's nice, yeah. I mean, like I say, I think the main reason I wanted to come was just because I'm thinking that you're like a grafter. Do you know what I mean? And you just don't get that many kids
That have the
that are
motivation.
19 doing it, like actually getting shit done.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I'd like to say fair play, and these two, and so too. But like,
Nah, I don't really do anything.
you're here.
Bro, this
you're
back,
here.
you
That's the
don't do
main.
anything.
You're
I
here,
don't. Not compared to
It's
you.
working till 2:30.
but
or
you're
whatever.
you're here,
Well,
and you're not
it's
in a
Yeah.
park. You're not in a pub, and you're not, not in bed. That's the main thing. That's the thing, and it's not a weekend. It's just you're doing stuff. So everything goes on your CV. You know what I mean? Whatever you do, even whether this works out or that works out, then it's just something for someone else to see. Oh, yeah, you've done that, move forward. So yeah, fair play. I thought,
Yeah.
brilliant.
Thank you.
So
I
yeah,
appreciate
just think it's good to show other kids that you don't have to just be ragging it around on motorbikes. You probably do that as well, but
it. No, but it's true, innit? There's so much stuff. Like the idea of like what's cool and what's beneficial now is so warped. Where like some of the stuff going on now, I mean,
well, everyone thinks podcasts are cool and everyone thinks making brands are cool,
but no one thinks doing this
no
cool.
one's doing it. Everyone's just commenting on social and this and that, but to actually do it is another thing completely different.
You know what? I don't think people think podcasts are cool, or I don't think people think anything's cool. I think anything, when it gets to a certain level, and people realise they can't hate on it more, that's when they just give in to
That's the
thinking it's
problem.
cool.
Yeah. I suppose podcasts are people are generally people that are doers talking to other doers. So if
Because
you're not a doer, you're generally going to just go, oh, yeah.
I'd say like, if I post a video on TikTok, if I got 100 comments, I'd give you £10 for every comment that was positive, and I guarantee you I wouldn't lose any money.
Yeah.
I don't think every single comment would be negative, right?
You just got to keep battling forward.
But that's just because it's saying Joe Rogan. Because no one hates on Joe, do you know what I mean? Because
They do try and cancel him every now and again, but he just battles forward. Everyone. So yeah, fair play. And I think as well, like this building reminds me of the first place I got. Like, it's just a typical sort of building where people get their first office or rent their first space. And I remember like I never wanted to invite people over. Do you know what I mean? Because my lift was like that lift, and people would be like fearing for their life. But once they got to my showroom,
Did
it was
you use
like,
the lift?
huh?
Use the lift to
In
get
here?
up?
Yeah. No, we got
risky. Risky. That's what I was gonna say.
The cleaner
Use the stairs.
took me up. The cleaner took me up, so it was good.
Yeah.
But we had mice and all this sort of stuff. But you just have to make the best of what you can, and then you come in and it's like this.
Yeah.
Like,
What a
brilliant.
nice place.
Why'd you hire this out?
Yeah, bro. Yeah, we knew the people that open it is such a kind, nice guy. His name's Pep,
Yeah.
and he's literally built this just from the ground up. Just saw like a whole block of flats,
Oh.
bought them all out, bought
Really?
them on the floor, and then just done it. Started buying all the equipment, rents it out, and through that, I mean, he's made so many connections. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know what sort of music you're into, but do you know, like Rich,
Yeah.
32
yeah,
you know, they all use this.
Oh.
Do you know Clavish?
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
all these people come in the showroom all the time, like just to, like I was telling these lot, like our showroom in Brixton is like, it's a PR showroom, so people come in, borrow clothes, blah blah blah. So it's how we work. Yeah, but are we going now?
Yeah, it's recording.
Oh.
I need to do the intro and shit.
Oh, okay, alright,
And,
yeah, shit.
Just keep the mic like a fist away from your mouth, so it probably picks up. You can move the sort of this way.
Yeah. Drink's good.
Thank you, bro. Yeah, just
That all right?
I don't know why. My man had the mic like well tightened, and it was like that, and he's talking to us, so it was like that, and I could barely see him. Don't know what he's It's tight.
Yeah, but yours was covering your face most of the
Yeah,
time.
but you
as
see how
well.
that's like straight.
Yeah, no, I know how it is, but I'm saying it was covering half of your face.
No, it's fine like that. Like mine was like that.
I don't know how his was looking because I can't see.
No, I'm saying this is fine,
Yeah,
but his was like,
yeah, his wasn't.
it was weird, bro. And I don't know why it's like.
Whilst you're wrong, okay. I've only really started doing these things
Yeah.
because I think I've always been quite an anxious person. Do you know what I mean? Like busy, but like a bit nervous of doing this sort of stuff, especially when I was your age. And recently, like probably 2 years ago, stopped drinking, stopped all badness, drugs and stuff like that. And now it feels like, don't know,
Feels more comfortable.
Yeah. So it's like, yeah, that's what I'd say to the future generation.
Yeah.
Just take it easy with the booze and the whatever it is you're doing, because it just affects you. Like, so yeah, recently I've always said no to these types of things because I just didn't feel comfortable, and now I'm looking at setting my own one up.
Yeah.
And the mad thing is, I was speaking to a few people the other day. Like, he won't mind me saying, I don't think, but like, I was speaking to Andreas from Wavy Gums, and he was like, "Yeah, I'd love to do it, Rich, but I'll get really praying up in front of the camera, you know, like blah blah blah, I get nervous." And I was like, "Yeah, that's what I used to be like, but you just gotta firm it." And a lot of the time, it's the drinking.
Do you think that's what it is? Do you think this is you like chucking yourself in at the deep end?
I think what it is from a young age, 14, 15, people drink, blah, 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 and in social situations for the rest of their life, they'll be drinking, weddings, funerals, stag do's, parties, birthdays, they're always going to be drinking, right? So you never actually learn how to be social naturally.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? You never actually like learn how to go to a restaurant full of people.
And especially high pressure situations as well.
Like, my wedding, when I had to do the speech, I'd have like 4 or 5 beers before, so it's fine. But, or at parties, you know, you could chat to girls because I've had a few beers. But you never learn how to grow their confidence naturally. And it's only like the last few years I've just been like, fucking hell, going to a restaurant or going to a pub or going to anything, a festival, whatever. Like, as me, like, just plain old me, and my confidence has got like where
it's more
where it
natural,
is. It's like my confidence has got to the place where it is when I'm pissed. Do you know what I mean? So it's like I would only ever do this after. So yeah, basically, this is just me sort of learning. Just like you're learning, you're growing, and I'm even at my age, I'm still trying new things. So this is fairly new for me. I've done a few of these things, but getting a bit used to it. Yeah.
Good.
So that's it. Yeah.
I think it's good. It's the whole like thing with like, giving you fake confidence is true. It's like if you was to go to the gym with steroids and then go to the gym
Exactly.
natural.
That is an exact example.
Because the end goal looks the same.
If you live your life on steroids and suddenly you start going bored and all things start falling off, and it's like, and you quit the steroids, people are going to go, and you're not going to know how to be in such situations because you're so used to. So that's the reverse. So yeah, for me, it's been a whole new world basically. A bit more fitness, a bit more looking after my head.
Good. You feel so much better.
Yeah, man, 100%.
Day.
100%. Like, I mean, I'm just the thing is, when you're 18, 19, 20, all the way up to 25, it's much easier to be relevant and cool or whatever because you've got no kids, you've got no mortgage, you've got nothing too much to worry about. But as you get older and older and older, you've got loads of more responsibilities and family and loads of shit. So you have to look after your head, basically. So that's what I'm trying to do now.
Even without all that though, that's just something I think you should do. And sometimes it's hard.
100%. I mean, I would advise to just like think about it. There's a lot more mental health talk now, which is good. But like my 2 boys, I talk to them about mental health a little bit more, because I didn't even know what anxiety was. Or you just give what someone gives to you and smoke it or eat it or drink it or whatever it is, and you just think, oh. But yeah, it's a tricky one. What was I going to say? A question. Am I just looking at you, or?
No, them guys ain't. Well,
Well,
you
yeah.
obviously can have input
Yeah,
in
yeah,
how
yeah.
this works. Like, if you want to say something, then
Yeah,
you
yeah,
can
yeah.
say it. But this conversation, between
Yeah,
you.
cool.
So there's the two cameras. That one's on me. That one's on you.
Wicked.
When I edit it, to the two camera angles will literally just be me
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah.
you. So
You know, the podcast that I have done, the thing that always impresses me is that the person who's doing it is quite often just such a doer. Like you said, you're editing it,
yeah,
you're organising it.
yeah.
So you're like the creative director, the producer, the editor, everything.
The whole process. The only thing I
Promoting
don't
it.
do. Yeah. So the only part I don't do is the thumbnails. The guy who does the thumbnails. The guy who designed these balls.
Yeah.
That's my designer.
Yeah.
But apart from that, yeah, I booked the podcast studio, come in, set it up, record the episodes, edit it. I rewatch them as well, which I fucking hate
Yeah.
more than anything.
That's good. What do you edit them on?
Premiere Pro.
Yeah. That's interesting. It's really interesting. Like, just getting stuck in. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that will be like, whatever you do, I said to this lot, like, whatever you do in the future, that do everything approach will just sell you through, whether it's photo shoots, whether it's doing a campaign, whether it's whatever creative thing you're working on. Even if it's just fixing your car, you can do like loads of shit at the same time rather than calling a, you know. So it's a good important thing to have, because some people go, oh, I need to go and get an editor, or I need to go and get a light person, or I need to go and get a sound person. And I've been on a few podcasts actually where they've clearly got some money from somewhere. Do you know what I mean? It's like parents' money or something, and they've got about 20 people, like a sound man and a gaffer and all this sort of stuff. But so I've been on some really good ones where they're doing it all on the phone, and
That's what I was gonna do.
you can do it. Yeah.
But then I thought, like, I don't know. I want it to be. The same reason why I wear a suit is because it's like, I don't wanna. I'm trying to get away from a certain life now.
Yeah.
Not even trying to. I am getting away from a certain life now, and I wanna. The stuff I'm talking about, I don't wanna. I've just noticed your label's upside down, innit? Bro, that's the one. Oh,
Wait.
right. Let me send this to my.
I did one that I was like, oh, is it supposed to be upside down?
Yeah, oh, you got the limited right, okay, cool.
Yeah,
So, sorry, bro, we'll go back to this, innit? My, me, Josh and Jack, when we were doing them
One of
labels,
them.
I told you,
Yeah.
Jack was like, oh, can I put a label on
I
upside
was
down?
thinking, I don't think it was us.
And I was like,
wouldn't
yeah,
have
I was like,
put
yeah,
it upside
sure.
down.
And when I fill it up, I'll remember and I'll give it to you. I must have not even clocked.
Sorry,
God's
mate,
sake.
come on now.
No, it's gone, bro. You got the limited edition one.
That'll be worth money one day.
Yeah, that's free.
I've kept my old one.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Save it.
I'm just gonna say.
Turn into a millionaire.
No,
Exactly.
it's interesting. So did you like go to college or uni or whatever?
No.
No, nothing like that.
No, I went to sixth form for 2 months.
Yeah.
Left. Tried an apprenticeship.
Me too.
Left.
This one's awful.
Tried college again. We literally went
Yeah.
for 1 day and then left at a different college.
Yeah.
My mum was mad. And then tried an apprenticeship again and then left. And now I'm just working and doing this.
Yeah. Fair play.
But sorry, yeah. What I was saying was I was gonna do the whole like, because obviously as you can imagine this gets quite expensive, and especially when like the money it's bringing in isn't adding up.
Yeah.
But which is no like that's not at all the if like, even the views I don't care
Yeah.
about. So, but then I was like, nah, like I'm not gonna. The reason I wear a suit is because I'm trying to manipulate my brain into thinking, okay, you're wearing a suit, you need to be talking about constructive stuff, positive stuff, da. So then I'm like, okay, you've got 6K Blackmagic cameras, whatever mics, don't waste your time while you're in it.
That's the thing. Like I said to this lot, like I always thought I get an office, it's just me. I've got to make myself look like a 2-man band, and then get 2 people, going to make myself look like a 5-man band. Do you know what I mean? So you're constantly manipulating your mind to think that you're bigger than what you are, and it encourages you to keep moving. And there's a lot of people, you know, like people like Bouncer, he's doing all this stuff in Dubai, making money, and he's gone from prison. Loads of people that are.
You see the house you just bought?
Yeah, that's what I'm. So people that have come from the streets, have been in prison. You know, I've done a tiny little bit of time inside a cell, and not an awful lot, but you know, when I was your age, I was fighting and drugs and drink and a lot of fighting. And it took me longer than it took me till I was about 20, really, 21, 20. I had a lot of close shaves with the law, and went travelling. So I just escaped. I just went travelling on my own. And well, I wanted all my mates to come with me, so I was like, "Oh, let's get out of here. Let's get out. Let's go travelling." And they were like, "Yeah, let's go next year. Save up, blah blah blah." And when it came to it, they all bottled it, and I bought my ticket to see.
They're not doers.
I bought my ticket, and I thought they'd definitely follow. And I went back to the shop and I said, "Look, I need a refund because I bought my ticket, ran the world, and my mates aren't coming." And they all these people got round and said, "Look, you need to go on your own. You'll meet more people. You'll have a better experience." And I was that kind of pack mentality sort of lad. Never really moved out of my hometown. And I went on my own, and I was just so nervous. And I was like, I went travelling with, at the time, like 1998 or something, like Avisu jeans, like Patrick Cox shoes. I went with the wrong stuff. I didn't do any reading, just landed in Thailand, and I was like, wow. Went down to the Koh San Road and just like, what the fuck's this? Like, I was just sitting there white, and some German guy came over and went, "Looks like you just arrived," because I had no suntan, and he told me, you need to buy this and buy that, buy Lonely Planet book, go and read it. And that was it. I was just on my way. And it was the best thing I've ever done, because you just suddenly you stop being rich and that group of lads, and you're just yourself. No one cares what you do back home. They just care about what you're doing for that second, for that minute, for that day. And I met people that were more like me. Didn't have to pretend. I didn't have to kind of talk about bullshit stuff, brands and what I do, who I've beaten up, all this sort of stuff, what car you got. And it was just brilliant. It levels you completely, and I would recommend it to anyone. Better than any degree, better than any qualification. Just go travelling for a year, get jobs along the way, and or however much you can afford. But I went to Thailand, then I travelled down all over Thailand, went down to Malaysia, Indonesia, all through Australia, Fiji, New Zealand, Brazil. But I ran out of money when I got to Australia, and what happened was, when I was in Thailand, I was in this bar, and I was this really nice girl, and I was chatting to her, and I said, "What do you do?" She goes, "I'm a fashion editor on a magazine." And I was like, "What?" Like, "Wow, that sounds amazing. Like, tell me how you do that." And she said, "All you need to do is find a magazine or anywhere that you would love to work in the future, and then phone them up and just say, you'll do anything, you'll work for free, come in late, make tea, whatever, blah blah blah." So I found this magazine in Sydney, in Australia. When I was there, I was like living in bunk beds in a youth hostel. But I phoned this magazine up. I said, "Look, I'm from blah blah blah," and they called back, and it wasn't even my phone. I borrowed the phone, and they said, "Yeah, come in." So I did work experience there, and I just was early, left late, showed interest in everything, and like I was like you, everything I was doing at the time, I was doing everything myself. I was doing trying to make shoots myself, doing it all myself, pictures, styling. And suddenly you're in this magazine, and you've got designer over there, you've got editor, writers, fashion. And I was like, wow, I can just do what I enjoy doing. And eventually they gave me a job, and that was it. It went from there. And then eventually became like junior editor of that magazine, and that was it. So anyone that's struggling to get into the creative industry that isn't doing their own stuff like you, just go to Australia. It's about the size of Manchester, but it's got all the stuff you need, like London, and they love English people. And as long as it's much easier to break through, and that meant I had a good portfolio. So when I came back to London, I could just pick and choose what mag I wanted to work for then.
Right.
And then I was off. Yeah. So travelling escaped me out of the rat race of drugs and fighting and partying and stuff. That was getting out of control. So it got me back on the straight and narrow. But still partying a lot, but more in related to my job. You know, when you move to London and you get a job on a magazine or any sort of media title, there's parties all the time. So still parties now. So just you have to just balance it out a little bit. But yeah, that's how I got into it anyway. Just literally just escaped. I had to escape the peer pressure of. You know, you probably get it. You know, there's people smoking, doing drugs, then there's little gang troubles all the time, and you can either stay on that route, get arrested, and then you can end up doing time.
Yeah, it's like nearly crashing your car, nearly crashing your car, nearly crashing your car. But you keep driving like a dickhead, and then you crash your car.
Exactly.
And then you're like, oh.
Even now, like where they've made all the roads 20 miles an hour, right? And it's like, fuck.
Yeah, all around London. Isn't
It's like fucking. It's like a computer game. It's so impossible. But you got to listen to it. You get a ticket, blah blah blah. You get another ticket. You're going to get banned unless you listen to the thing. You do 20 miles an hour. You have to stick by the thing. But yeah, that's what that's how I got into it. And yeah, so I'd just recommend anyone who's stuck in a rut. I'd saved up doing telesales jobs. You know, like selling alarms on the phone. Hello, Mrs. Evans. And doing that, saved up, and it was at the time about 600 quid to go around the world. You buy a ticket that enables about 12 different flights. So one goes from London to Thailand to travel down, and the next one goes from. So
Is that still a thing?
Huh?
Is that still a thing?
Yeah.
What, they're like open tickets?
Open tickets, yeah. So you have like, it's about 700 quid for, probably 900 quid now I reckon maybe, but about 12 or 14 flights over the period of a year, maybe 2, and then you map it out roughly. So like, okay, I'm going to go from Fiji to New Zealand to Buenos Aires, and then anything you do in between is just a myth. You don't plan anything. You just get to somewhere, and there's a bunch of people that sit there. Where are you staying? Oh, I'm staying at this hostel, and it's like maybe £2 a night, blah blah blah, and then it's just a big adventure, and you meet people, all sorts of people, clever people, street people, local people, old, young, and it just sort of makes you a bit more mature, you know what I mean? Like, rather than just being a town person, you're thinking on a bigger scope. I mean, you know, it's no reason why you couldn't go travelling and do this. All around, you know what I mean? Go travelling and book out places like this in Sydney and Argentina and just chat to people the whole way. But it makes you realise how big the world is and how what a little fish you are in the world.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Have you ever done any psychedelics?
Yeah, lots.
I was going to say,
lots.
I was going to say, I can tell from the way you talk and the way you the way things that seem well important to normal people, don't really seem important to you, and they don't to me either. And I think that is one of the main reasons why, one, you just do stuff, and two, what people think is like cool and shit, like, it just doesn't, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know if it's. I mean, I've done a lot of psychedelics in my life. Not like crazy amounts, but I've done a lot. But I think, like, you know, everyone talks about ADHD and everyone talks about that sort of stuff at the minute. And my missus and my kids have had all these tests, and I'm like, I kind of don't want to get tested because I don't want them to just. I like the way I am, basically. I like whatever is wrong with me in a way. Whether I get quite into something, and I might divert different going over here, but that's how I've got to where I am. So it's like the last thing. My missus has started taking ADHD tablets or something like this, and I'm like,
Making them
that
mess
would probably
yourself.
that would be I'd have no ideas left. I'd be meeting new people, and I'd be stuck for. Do you know what I mean?
And no drive, bro, to do anything.
I've just always been. I like fun. I like having fun, and I like stuff. I like looking at. I like to be excited, whether that is meeting people that are doing some cool stuff, and seeing some art, watching boxing, whatever it is. I just like the buzz of life, and I hate being bored. If I'm bored, then I'll find something to do. I'll find something to do in a prison cell. I could have a party in jail. It's just, I've always been a bit of a leader in that way. So it's kind of like, if we're all sitting here, I need to find something to do. Let's do something. Let's do a Ouija board. Let's do, I don't know what, just do something. Let's go out. Let's go to London. Let's go to Paris. Let's go to Ibiza. So I was always like that type of thing, directing people to come with me on my sort of journey of having fun, and that's maybe a mental sort of fault. Some people might think because you're a bit of a control person, but that's just taken me. It's become a job. So now I'm a creative director. So if there's 10 models, 2 photographers, loads, I'm the one controlling it all. I'm saying, no, that could be better. That could be better. That needs to be darker. That should be higher. That car needs to be blah blah blah. So
You get stressed out.
yeah, I get stressed out when more frustrated, because I think I can see things. The way my brain works, if someone says, "Oh, Rich, can you do a campaign for this brand?" In 10 minutes, I can see the finish. I can see what it needs to look like. And in the early days, where it was just me and an assistant, I could just go and do it, and I'd know exactly what moves I need to make to get it done. But now clients are bigger, and you got to map everything out. Mood boards, and it's just like proposals and pitches and briefs and all this sort of stuff. I get frustrated when things are going. The client goes, "I'm not really sure about using a girl with a shaved hair," or "I'm not really sure about that location, Rich." And I know 100% that it's for some reason. I don't know about anything else. I don't know about animals. I don't know about plants. But when it comes to creative visuals in the commercial world with brands and youth culture, for some reason I just know it, when I get frustrated and stressed, then I have to calm everything down, and then my mission is to explain to that person who's doubting my thought process that it's right. I have to go away and I have to say, look, okay, girls with shaved head. This is what
Do
explain.
you like that though? Because when back in the
It's
day
a-
when it was
it's-
just you and your assistant, there was no one to
It's a
challenge
mission. It's an unnecessary mission, but it's quite satisfying
it. When they
and
finally say it.
frustrating again when, like, I remember doing this shoot for Kappa, and it was in this field, and there was loads of chickens in the field, and we were shooting this model, blah blah blah, and all the Kappa team were there, and I was like, oh, it'd be fucking cool if we can get a model to pick up a chicken, and I could see the lady from Kappa seeing what I was thinking, and she said, "Hey Richard, no with the animals, no with the animals." and I was like, oh fuck, it'd be brilliant. And I said to one of my assistants, I said, go and tell we got the new sandwiches over there, so go and have some food. She went and had some food, and we did the chicken shot, and the chicken shot. When the shoot was finished and the campaign was done, the chicken shot was the lead shot when Hypebeast featured it as a new shoot or whatever. It was the lead shot, the chicken shot, and they had it printed out in their offices. So I know it was going to work, but sometimes people aren't dialed into your thought process.
That gets me mad as well. when
Otherwise, they
people
do it
start doing
themselves.
that. When I've got an idea, and even if it's nothing to do with like my stuff, like if my mum's trying to do something, I'm like, look, try it this way, and I know it's 100% gonna be quicker, and then she's like, oh no, I'm just then I'm start like,
Yeah.
I know, like trust me.
100%. And you know what's really interesting is that my son Max, he's got a very similar thought process. And the other day, he was like, Dad, I want to move my desk from there to there, and I was, it's not going to fit, mate. And he was like, trust me, it's going to fit, and it fitted. And I was like, I must be getting rusty, because he could visualise it without a tape measure or anything. He could just visualise it in this gap, and that's it. It's just a certain, maybe like yourself, I don't have a brain for numbers and figures and stuff like that, but for shapes and colours and solutions when it comes to visuals, then that's it. If, when it comes to anything creative, interior, music, fashion, styling, that's people seem to trust my opinion these days. Now I've gone through years and years, 20 years of
Convincing
wrestling
people,
clients
yeah.
to say, look, this is the way. Trust me. Now it's a little bit more comfortable where brands will just say, Rich, we want this solved, or we want this strategy, or we want to be blah blah blah. So yeah, I do get stressed, but out of passion rather than out of
That frustration.
out of like some kind of
Dickhead thing.
yeah. I set myself goals in my head,
Especially when you know how good something will look as well.
but you know what the ironic thing is? I was thinking, the ironic thing is about recently being asked to come on a few podcasts. Is that I still in my head. I think the people sometimes recently they said, "Oh, Rich, you're smashing it. You're smashing it at the moment," and I'm like, oh, "Cheers, nice." And then I go away and I think, "Am I?" I think a creative person will never. They'll set themselves goals, but in my head, I'm not even sort of there yet. Do you know what I mean? Like when I was just a stylist or an assistant or shooting stuff for free, I would have dreamt of being where I am now with my own agency and good clients. But the ironic thing about coming on these things, talking to people about your career, is that I don't know what I'm going to do next. I'm sort of like,
I don't know if you've seen this clip, but it's literally exactly what you're saying.
yeah. It's strange, man, because I've been saying to my missus, I don't know what I want to do next. I don't know where I want to move next to, or I don't know what we should do next with the agency, or I set this up, or I might set that up. She's setting a model agency up, and it's doing well. So doesn't matter what level you're at in your career, you're always going to come across hurdles, crossroads, frustrating situations, because you're putting them there for you. Like, I could just go into work every day and it would be just easy, you know.
Make no progress, though.
But progress, I never really think about the money side of it. Progress is it feeds your passion, and I don't know. It's a weird one.
This is Cody Ryan.
You're up 2-0. What's the story? Are you not happy, or you're only half happy, or?
Still to be happy about.
You're up 2-0.
Job's not finished. The job finished?
That's it.
I don't think so. Okay.
That's it. I mean, sometimes these podcasts are like counselling, because really, my brain's mad like that. Like, where, I don't know, man. It's like, yeah, I've got a nice house, family, blah blah blah, a few cars, and it's like, I don't even feel in the slightest satisfied that I'm where I need to get to.
Yeah, that's being a man, though, isn't it? That's like,
I don't know.
if you were content, then you wouldn't have had all them. If you were the type of person to be content, then you wouldn't get all that stuff in the first place, because you would have been, for example, right? I'm guessing you didn't grow up like some middle class, like gold, knife and fork, right?
No.
So,
Well, but I wasn't poor. My parents, when they first had me, were poor, and it was. No, they weren't rich and they weren't poor, so it was a pretty average upbringing. But what was different was my mum and dad. And they won't see this, so they won't be offended. And my dad's dead anyway. But they were very, like, the opposite to me. Like, they were very, very traditional and very kind of like. Why do you want to spend any more than £10 on a pair of trainers, Rich? Or what? They're completely the opposite of streetwise. You know what I mean? So I had this urge to dress differently and stand out and go to parties and travel and do all this stuff, and they didn't understand. My dad wants me to be an engineer, and my mum just didn't understand at all. So I was always going against the grain, always doing something that was different for my family.
that's what I'm saying.
Like, yeah,
so, because that's the drive to do something there.
it was weird.
So-
I could have easily have just been.
But you weren't like happy with where you was. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So then, because of that, you wasn't gonna be the type of person. For example, like sometimes, I hate rich kids, innit? Like
Yeah.
kids that are bro, like, I need to. I'm at the point now where I'm intelligent enough to know that there's no reason why I should dislike these people, because they don't do anything wrong.
Yeah.
If I see a kid who's growing up and he's had like everything given to him on a plate, I used to hate people like that.
Yeah.
And then I realised, like, I should just feel bad. Like, that is the worst position you could be in life. Growing up in life and not knowing the meaning of anything.
Yeah.
Like, there is not a single meaning of anything. Like, nothing, you're never going to know the feeling of, unless you've been brought up, I'd say in the 1%, where you've been brought up as a rich kid, but your parents can also teach you hard work and how to earn stuff and stuff like that. Aside from that, like, they're going to be so content with how they're doing, because they're going to go home every day with a 5-course meal, go home and have a massive double bed and stuff that their parents have bought and shit like that. So when you have that, it's easy to be content. But because when you had the drive to go and do the travelling and then do the creative agency and take the photos and do the stuff for the magazines and stuff, you're the type of person that's going to be looking for that next step.
Yeah, I always wanted more, basically.
That's what I'm saying.
More,
So
whether if my mum had gave me a £5, I wanted 50 quid, and I would do car boot sales. I still do a car boot sale now. I actually love a car boot sale.
So
To be
do
fair,
I.
I enjoy it, and I like seeing my kids earning some money from a car boot sale and buy and sell stuff from Depop still. And if I drive into work and I see some shit on the side of the road that looks like it's worth something, I'll put it in the boot and I'll put it on eBay still. And
So do I.
and I'll film it, and so that other people know that's what I do. And I always wanted more. I always wanted more, and I always wanted to get up the ladder of society, I guess. More and more. So even when I was no money, I'd wear a fake Rolex, or I'd wear. Say we went to Tenerife with the family, I'd go and buy a few fake bags for it. So I'd style it into my outfit just to sort of like position myself a little bit higher than what I was, and I could pull it off. And go to London, go to a bar, and just try and fake it till you make it. And really, it is true. You have to be honest with yourself, but at the same time,
It's like
you
placebo and
can you can just have fun with it. Like even now, I have fun with it. Like I have a lot of good clothes. I get some clothes for free, but at the same time, I value money, and I know that you can go and get some amazing stuff off some great, Panda Buy or whatever, Husky Reps, loads of rep sites. You can get some good stuff. I said to my kids, I said, look, let's spend 200 quid on for Christmas. You can get a few pairs of trainers off Panda Buy and something else. And it's like, and when people see, I got this Comme des Garçons Stussy tracksuit from a rep site, rep site, yeah. You know what I mean, by a rep site.
I know what reps are, yeah, I hadn't heard of website.
So like, if you're a brand like Nike or Stussy or whatever, you'll design a collection and then you'll send your order to some factory in China for 1,000 pieces, and the factory boss in China will go, oh, thank you very much, we'll make 1,000, but they've got all the flat plans and all the design tech packs and everything to make more if they wanted to. So they just send it off to their cousin in the village next door that make 100 more, and it goes on these rep sites that you can buy the same thing, but just it's not really allocated by the brand, and they're sort of deep in the internet. I've got no shame in saying I get a few bits from there, and it makes me laugh because, like I said, I've got this Stussy Comme des Garçons trackie I got for about 20 quid off that, and I get compliments every time, and I say it's not real. But you thought it was good, so it's. I like playing with people's minds because some people are bought into the commercialization of brands so much that, oh my god, they'll die for something, a Needles tracksuit or something, and they'll feel like accomplished. But you can just go, it's just fabric. It's just fabric, and it's just made in the same place that Primark, or it's made in the same region of China or Portugal or Turkey than a lot of brands that you might hate. So yeah.
People's different shortcuts to happiness. Like.
Basically, hacks. Yeah, that 100%, and that's what I am all about. And like I said, I think that's why I get quite passionate about when I see kids your age doing stuff, because I had to kind of find all this stuff out myself, because my parents were like, they didn't think that fashion was or creative world was a career choice, so I had to just like go on a big fuck you mission and try and find out like how I can make it a career somehow, and yeah, no, I've done it. So there's plenty of shortcuts, even from when I got my first car, made it look like an amazing car.
Yeah.
but it was just a shitty little 1.3 Astra, but
Doesn't
it
matter.
looked amazing. It had everything on it that you needed to make it look like it just. You know, I've always been like that, just pushing myself, really like a conductor of perception.
Mm.
That's what I've always been. I find it interesting. You know, you can play a track in a nightclub, and certain people will come, and you can choose one model for a brand, and then certain people will like it, or you can collaborate with this brand, and then it attracts. So it's marketing, but marketing is a very boring word now. It's just, a lot of you lot are doing marketing today by just getting me on. It's different from getting someone younger in. Might learn something new, might get a bit of wisdom or whatever, but the hardest thing I've found in this industry, in media, creative, is like a lot of people my age, like 45, they're just fat,
Stuck in the motion.
just not even stopped. Do you know what I mean? It's like they'll talk about what they did, or they used to do this, or used to do that. They used to be people, but
Famous person that
they're
you
not-
used to go to school with.
like I'm just about a lot of my mates from back home, from when I was a lot younger. They say, Rich, what you got a classic car for? Are you having a midlife crisis?
What car you?
But I've got a 1973 Vauxhall Victor. But my point is, and then they'll phone up and they'll say, "Oh, Rich, we got our Ibiza this year." And I say, "Why do we want to go? We've been to Ibiza so many times. Why don't we do something different?" They say, "You're having a midlife crisis or something." I've been having a midlife crisis every few months since I was about 18. So.
Yeah.
What a lot of people think a midlife crisis is just trying new stuff past the point when you're supposed to try new stuff. Like from about 14 to about 25, trying new stuff is cool, right? You want to try jet skiing, or you want to start climbing, or get into weights, or start graffiti. It's just it's expected sort of thing. But past that, past 30, past 40, trying something new, not having that. So, but I'm always I like trying new stuff all the time, and because otherwise I get bored, and that's just, and the hardest thing I think in fashion is trying to stay relevant. It's like not even trying to stay relevant. A lot of people, they work in fashion 40, 50, and then they get fat and they got kids, and it's just like drop off and retire. But there's certain people in the industry, Kish Cash, Franklin Boateng. There's there's people that I've grown up with that have been doing cool stuff, collecting trainers, or doing businesses in fashion, going to events, that are still doing it, and if you can still do it at my age, I think that's job. It's a job. That's one of the hardest jobs. To still, to be asked to come on something like this
Of course.
is really nice, because a lot of people your age look up to people my age as being just old. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I think overall though, like people my age, like what they want, everyone just wants everything quick nowadays.
Yeah.
And they don't actually want to sit down and learn, and I don't mean like they only want to sit down and learn if they want to be a doctor or a lawyer.
Yeah.
Or they want to do something where they're like, oh, I'm gonna go to uni. Do you
Yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah,
But that
yeah.
isn't learning. Like learning is making a drinks company, because that isn't my first company.
Yeah.
That's my I don't know, 7 or 8. You know what I mean? Me learning was the
Yeah.
7 or 8 before.
Yeah.
For this, and do you know what I mean? And this is
100%,
learning, and
100%.
me talking to people on episodes
And
is
the
learning.
only way you're going to learn properly or get the right information is to is to try and tap into people that are either like you, doing stuff you want to do, or people that are way older than you, doing stuff that you would like to do, or have done stuff that you want to do. That's what I said to my missus. My missus goes, where should we go on holiday? Goes on some random YouTube clips. Oh yeah, Greece looks good. And I thought, why would you listen? Look at this YouTuber, right? This the most nerdiest YouTuber going, talking about some cruise or something. Look at them. I said, look at what they're wearing. They're not us. And the best way of finding out where to go on holiday is try and find
People like us.
people
and where
like
they wanna
us
go.
and ask them, you know, people that are inspired by culture, or people that are inspired by like whatever it is, streetwear, or whatever it is, subcultures or whatever, music clubs, whatever. Ask them. They're more likely to give you where you want to go, and you're not going to end up just in some dead place. So it's the same with your career. And this is part of the reason why I stopped drinking and stuff was I stopped following the sort of my messier friends, you know, people that were on it all the time, out all the time, and I started following people that were actually succeeding in business a lot more, and I realised most of the people who are actually successful, like to a real high level, or doing something to a super level, it's like where I want to get to, they don't drink or do drugs. And it's like pretty obvious when you think about it. It's
I
like,
don't drink or do drugs.
that's the thing. I mean, that's fair play. If you can stay away from it completely, because they're just warping everything. It's just like putting speed bumps in the road, and minimal little highs. You know, it's sort of sometimes when you're young, go over a speed bump, go oh, and it that feels weird, but it fucks your car.
You know what we were talking about, like feeling content and that being it. It's because like, for example, the times when I feel like I should be happy with a drink, like the drinks down 3 restaurants.
Hey.
When that's got agreed into each of them restaurants, I didn't really feel like overly happy. But I felt happy when I'm driving sometimes and I'll be listening to music and I'm thinking, oh, I'm quite thirsty. And then I'll go and get my own drink.
Yeah.
And now I'm driving and drinking my own drink while listening to good music. Like then, now I'm happy in it. And that's such a random time. And now I can do that whenever. So it's not, I'm not happy when I feel like I should be happy
because
when that's making money or when that's getting accepted into a restaurant. I'm just happy when I can just think, oh, I'm thirsty, now I can drink my own drink.
Maybe it's because, like I said, the visualization thing. Like I said, when I get given a job and I can see the shoot finished, like in my head and maybe in your head, you can see yourself in a big factory where this is full up, you know, or you can see yourself in every single newsagent and every single restaurant. You know, you've already sort of set your goal. That's it. I want to make this global. So just being in 3 restaurants, you're just thinking, oh yeah, that's just standard because this is where I'm going to be, you know.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how I feel as well. It's like a little paydays or little you get little buzzes, but I think it's still not where I want to be. So it's
Like that clip.
yeah, 100%. And it's very weird. Maybe someone told me about a book called The Secret, that I should read that. Apparently it's about living in the moment a bit more, which I think I need to do a little bit more, because it's like sometimes cool things happen, or, you know, even getting asked to do a shoot by, you know, we did a good shoot recently for Champion, you know, it's a big global brand.
Yeah,
But I'm always thinking, what's next? What I don't. Yeah, it's just mad. And like for Kappa, every campaign I do for Kappa, we started off doing the UK stuff for the guys in Manchester and UK, and then we'll put 100% into each shoot. And sometimes other parts of the world, Kappa would want to use the shoots, and they'd pay us extra for us to use the shoot in America or Italy. And eventually the headquarters of Kappa in Turin, they asked us to do a global campaign. So it's just okay. Now we want you to do a shoot, and every shoot is going to go to the world basically. So, and you see it on billboards, and you see it, and it's like, I'm buzzing for a little bit, only for a little bit, and it's like you got to keep fighting. It's like
Because if you get content and drop your guard,
100%. I've apart from a brief stint in home base and paper round, I've always been self-employed or freelance, and there's a temptation once you get paid or once you finish a job to take a few days off or take a week off. I could take a whole month off, but it's just like you drop your guard. There's so many other agencies out there that are going to pitch for the same job. So many other creative directors that want to do what you're doing, and it's dog eat dog world. So
man who goes
so
to
many
the gym.
different. Yeah.
Let's say the man who goes to the gym when he doesn't want to will always be the man who goes to the gym when he feels like it.
Yes, that is good.
That's true.
I like that. Yeah, that is good.
Just know that when you don't want to do something the most, I enjoy going to work, and I'm sure you do.
Yeah.
But I know you mean this. Sometimes it is tempting to be like, even just prioritise something more than another, because the drink is fun, more fun than the podcast sometimes. But you've just got to know, like, if you don't want to do something, that's the part time where you've most.
But you need a few things. Like I've always thought, you need a few things to leverage each other. So the podcast will leverage your drink. The drink will then leverage your podcast. You might want something else. You start doing your own ties. Could be a thing. No problem. You'd always want to wear a tie, so you could do your own range of ties, cufflinks. You could end up having your own tailoring brand. So eventually you're not really promoting anyone else. People, you got a nice tie, and then you get sick ties made out of whatever, and then suddenly you're selling multiple things and revenue streams. You know what I mean? Or you give everyone a free tie as they come in and go, where do you get a tie from, Rich? So it's just keep hustling basically, and then like I said, I'll still do a car boot sale. I'll still do buy and sell stuff. But do I really need to do it? Probably not. But I always just think it's like an extra £100. That's going to get me this. That's going to get me, And I'm really now more about showing my kids and showing, kids your age that you don't have to be like, a posh kid or a toff, or you don't have to be a rich kid to get to the top. You can just be yourself. You can have had some brushes with the law. You can be an alcoholic. You can be whatever, and you can, as long as you're passionate about something and you're willing to learn. You can just smash through it. And people like Bugsy Malone, people like Little Man, they're just doing it. They're doing it, and they've all done dumb stuff, and they've all been in the gutter. But the good thing about podcasts now, and the good thing about social media, is that you can really identify most podcast hosts, and you watch the Diary of the CEO or something like that, when they really they really drill into the dynamics of anyone that is successful, and they're all pretty much the same. The way that their mentality is the same. Like there's a good one with Charlie Sloth. Like he was real trouble,
Yeah, I see that.
Knives and all sorts, drugs. And you just turn that into knowledge of youth culture, knowledge of music, which he had better than anyone else. Like, I did go to college and did go to uni for a bit, but didn't do very well because I was always out. I always wanted to go to the next club Friday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday night, let's go to Bournemouth, let's go to Portsmouth, let's go to Reading, let's go to Ibiza, let's go. I wanted to go to every club. I wanted to go to do every drug. I wanted to do everything more and more. So I didn't do very well at the education side, but what I didn't realise until later on in life is that I'd got this like other qualifications of knowing. I was revising for my future career just by skiving what I was meant to be doing. So like I know everything about all the different subcultures, whether it's punks, whether it's garage, whether it's jungle, drum and bass, hip hop, grime, whatever it is. I've been knee deep in that subculture because I wanted to say, I'm into this. I'm into break beats. I'm going to breakdance clubs. I'm doing. So that's given me the qualifications to do the job I do now. So you just have to immerse yourself in something. I just didn't want to do it in the confinements of a university or a college.
Yeah.
I felt a bit trapped. So I went off and sort of revised my own
Path.
Yeah, and it sort of works out. Yeah, and people now, a lot of people that make it to a certain high level in the creative industry, like you said, they are quite posh. A lot of them. I go on a lot of music videos and stuff, and the teams are quite often quite posh. And I'm like, what? So it's like maybe like a grime artist, and it's a music video, and all the creative team, quite often like posh kids, and it's like, what? It doesn't make sense. But there's a lot of equipment to buy. There's a lot of working for free. There's a lot of obstacles to, and it's very difficult to sustain if you haven't got support. So, but it's doable. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's doable. It's just a lot more tough, isn't it?
It's hard, yeah, but you do you will look back at that lift and you'll think, fucking hell, yeah, mate, a lift. And I hired a podcast. You'll have your own building,
Yeah.
and I think like having your own drink at your age is something else. That's like. Yeah,
Thank you.
I mean, you just got to keep at it. I mean, you could go on the Dragon's Den with this, and you'd be like could easily be like a reggae sauce type scenario.
Levi. He does the intro for this.
Does he?
Yeah, but I met him.
No way.
Yeah, I met him at some. I went to a
That's
business.
the thing. You're just two peas in a pod. It's like.
What me and Levi were.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing that I've noticed. That if you've got the same mentality of the people I'm talking about, people that are doers, doesn't matter what age you are, you'll get each other. And I would 100%. If you went on the Dragon's Den, they may like your drink, they may like the fact that you've got a podcast, but they would definitely pick up on your drive, I think.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because it's it's good. But yeah, I don't know how you've got to this point. That's a different podcast altogether. But it's I don't see why this. You just work on the branding, or you work on the marketing, and just keep pushing it out. Work on benefits of the drink, maybe, and yeah, man, I could see this in Brixton in 100 shops. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I think it's brilliant.
We need to wrap this up because we've gone over time. But
Sorry?
I am gonna two things. One, I'd like you on again if you're down.
Yeah, no worries.
And two, I'm gonna send you a message. I want you to help me out with some of the creative stuff for the drink. I've got a couple cool ideas.
Yeah. Like I said to these two, I mean, it's not. I like being a bit more of a mentor these days, and trying to further my own career. I like to try and help people. Some people send me their CVs and they're shit, and I'm like, let's start with your CV, and I'll tell them, I'll say, look, I've even met you, and I know you're cooler than what your CV is. So let's get your CV straightened out, and I've worked with them to try and sort that out. And like I said, we get work experience, people coming in, and yeah, you know
Well,
what I
you
mean.
wouldn't be wasting your time. I'm all open ears.
Yeah. I think. I mean, yeah.
There's a
done
lot of
good job.
possibility in it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, you can come up with a few different. It's just money. I mean, a lot of times, like again, mentioned Bounce. You see with this drink, you get a bit of an investment. It can help things along a bit quicker with products like trainers, fashion, anything really. If investment helps things along a little bit. I've seen loads of people like yourself. They come up with an amazing product. They do everything themselves, but it's so slow doing it yourself that before you make a little bit of hype, then Primark, Boohoo have already ripped you off, and before you know it, everyone thinks you've copied Primark, and it's like, that was my idea, you know what I mean? So you have to just do as much as you can to make as much noise as you can.
Yeah, well, I've got some ideas. I'm
And,
doing a proper. I've got some good mentors already, but I think that for getting some cool ads and stuff together,
Yeah.
some eye-appealing videos and shit.
Yeah, I mean you just got to, at this stage, impact is what you need. Impact, and at your stage, any brand that you're starting off from the ground with minimal resources. The one thing you cannot put any limitations on is ideas. You can have zero money, zero equipment, zero people helping you, but your idea can be better than Adidas, Gymshark, Fanta, whatever. You have the ability to come up with better ideas than Elon Musk if you wanted to, because there's no limit on it. There's no one saying, no, you're not allowed to come up with a better idea than Kanye, but the idea is one thing. You have to be what's the word? You have to be you've got to be realistic. If your idea is I want to fly to the moon tomorrow on that book, it's not going to happen. But nothing's stopping you writing lyrics that are better than Kanye. You've either got it or you've not got it. If you think you've got it and it's in your brain to make a better drink, then and you believe in yourself as much as possible, then there's no reason why you can't do it. So it's just meeting more people, different peer groups, people my age, people 30s, people 60s, people, and just showing people that you're serious, handing out this as much as you want, just go for it, yeah.
So guys, we just tied it up with Rich Evans. I hope you guys enjoyed. The videos on the screen. Go like and subscribe. Go watch some more, man. Appreciate it.
Next time I come, I want you to have your own range of ties.
Yeah.
It's got to be done.
I'll just have little dudes.
It'd be cheap.